Good morning, it's Thursday already and we're doing pie charts on day 3. So here's our question today. So let me move the screen out of the way. A fruit juice maker uses a pie chart to describe the contents of its fruit juice. Here's the fruit. Here's fruit juice. And this is the pie chart that he's using. And there you can see that all the fruits are split into percentages, except the green one. At the bottom here, you've got what all the colours represent. So lime is green, obviously orange is orange, strangely. That kind of goldy yellow is banana, and the big one is pineapple. Okay, and then there's some columns here. If the pineapple column is 5 centimetres tall, how tall should the other columns be? Okay, so the pineapple column is 5 centimetres tall. How tall should the other columns be? So think about what your first step is going to be. If you know exactly what to do, then have a go at it, and then you can come back to make sure you're doing it right. So pause the video. What's your first step? Okay. Well, the first step is going to be finding out what the lime is, and I've called it X because X, as we know, stands for an unknown number. So I've got 40%, 20% and 32%, and that one's unknown. I know that the whole pie, that's the whole everybody, is going to be 100%. So I need to work out what X is. So have a go at working out X. It will take a couple of seconds, hopefully. Okay, so 20 add 40 add 32 add X equals 100. So that means that 92 add X equals 100. So X must equal 8. Okay, if you're not sure about that, just stop the video, just have another look. But we can write 8% in there. Okay, and that now all adds up to 100 because the whole pie is 100%. Okay, so the step 2 is to calculate the height of all the rectangles. We called them columns, didn't we? So let's just have another look at that. All the columns in the bar chart. Okay, so if we look at this first one, 40%, because this is pineapple. Sorry. Pineapple, and it's 40% and it was 5 centimetres. I got that, all that information off this graph now. 40%, and this person who's out of shot is telling me that it's 5 centimetres. 40% is 5 centimetres. Okay, so if I go back to that one. I need to work out what each of the bars is in the bar model, just like you normally would. So how are you going to work out what each of these bars in the bar model is worth? Have a little think. Okay, so you're going to do 40 divided by 5, and that's going to give you 8, and it's worth 8% each, aren't they? 8%. It's not very good. Definitely need a new pen. I've been overusing it during lockdown. So anyway, you get the idea. That equals 40%. Okay. And then the next thing I did was I worked out the 20% of banana, because I know, this is banana, I know that 20% is half of 40%. So my column for banana is going to be 2.5 centimetres because it's half of 5. That's half of that. That is half of that. And 2 is half of 5. 2.5, sorry, it's half of 5. If you want to look at the bars, I represent it in a bar model. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2.5 bars is half of 5. So the way you would look at it is to put those all in half. And then you can see that that is half of that. Okay, because there's 10 there now, 5 there. Okay. Then we've got orange. Now it's 32%. And I know, because we worked it out earlier, that each bar is worth 8%. 8%. I should just use, I don't know if I'm using that. Let me just use. I can just use it. So I can get 8. That's percent. 8% in each of these. And I know then that that's going to be 4 centimetres. Why do I know it's going to be 4 centimetres? Oops, that's not right, is it? Why do I know it's going to be 4 centimetres? Well, I've already worked out. Oh, this has caused even more problems because now they're not the same size. So what's happened is that I know that, I'm going to take all those out, you get the point. Not going well today. What is wrong with me? We knew that, sorry, just bear with me, I'm making a mess. We knew that 40% was 5 centimetres, and because there are 8 4s in 32, I also know that 4 centimetres is enough to do 32%, because that's 8, 16, 24, 32, and 8% is going to be 1 centimetre. Okay, so this one should be 4 centimetres, and this one should be 1 centimetre. Okay, 5 centimetres, 2.5, 4 and 1. Perfect, I did lose it in the middle there. A very long week. So the height of the bars will be pineapple 5 centimetres, orange 4, banana 2.5 and lime 1. So if you did get that, if you worked it out by yourself, well done. Otherwise, I hope you followed that. Okay, whoops. On this side. Okay, and now we need to count the second part of this question is to calculate the volume of each type of fruit juice in the bottle. You can't see the fruit juice there because I've cleverly hidden it. Didn't need to. Underneath there. So, what do we need to know? Well, we already know, we've worked out the lime, haven't we? That was 8%. So I've got all my percentages now. And there's my fruit juice, and I know how much fruit juice there is. There's 250 ml. So if you think you know what to do, again, have a go, then come back and check. But all you're going to do is you're going to find out what each of these percentages are of 250. So the first one we need to do is probably 40%. So 40% of 250 ml. I want you all to stop the video, have a go. Okay, so there are 2 ways you could have done this. You could have found 10%, which is 25 ml. How do I find 10%? Well, I divide this number by 10 and I got 25. And then to get 40%, I do 25 times 4, which gives me 100 millilitres. That's the first way you could have done it. The second thing you could have done was to do a fraction. So you could have done 40 over 100 times 250 over 1, cross those out, and then you can cross those out as well. So it's 4 times 25 again, so it's just 100 over 1, which is 100 millilitres. Okay, so the volume of pineapple juice is 100 millilitres. Okay. Next one. And then you need 20% of banana juice. I don't know how you could juice a banana. You could blend a banana, but I don't think you get juice out of banana. So 20% of 250. Again, stop the video, have a go. And again, 2 ways to do it. 10% of 250. It's still, guess what, 25 ml. So 20% of 250 is 50 millilitres. Obviously, you could also have done that as a fraction. Crossing all your zeros out, so 2 times 25 is 50 over 1, which is 50 millilitres. Okay, obviously 20%, as we said earlier on the bar model, is half of 40%, so you could have found it out like that as well, because we knew that 40% was 100 ml, so 20% must be 50 ml. 3 ways, 3 for the price of 1 ways to find that out. Okay, the next one is 32% of 250 millilitres. Okay, so how are you going to find that out? I don't think you can find 10% this time, so use a fraction model, work that one out. Okay, so we've got 32 over 100. Remember, 32 over 100 is 32%. 32 over 100 is the equivalent fraction for 32%, because all percentages are out of 100. Times is the of 250 over 1. Okay, then we'll cross out our zeros that we can. Then you need to do 32 times 25. 2 5's 10, 16. Oh, emails are going crazy. 32 over 25, that's 2 2's are 4, 3 2's are 6. And then add those together. I've not left myself very much room. 0, 8. So 32% of 250 millilitres is, that's not right, what have I done? 32 times 25, 2 5's 10, 16. Yeah, that is right, sorry. It's 800 over 10, so 32% is 80 millilitres. Okay, and then you want 8%. Again, I'd recommend a fraction for this, so have a go at that. Do it exactly the same way that we've done the others while I rub this out. Okay, so 8%. 8% is 8 over 100 of times 250 over 1. Cross out the zeros that we don't need. And then 8 times 25 is, who knows what 8 times 25 is? 4 times 25 is 100, 8 times 25 is 200 over 10. So that would give you 20. Okay, 32% was 82 mil. Okay, the other way, particularly if you're Miss Berger's group and some of my group, you might have recognised that 8 is a quarter of 32, so you might just have divided that by 4, but don't worry if you don't understand that. Okay. Oops. I'll move to the next one. Right, again, I've had to take a photograph of this because I couldn't get the pie chart right. So the pie chart shows how paper is used in a country in a particular year. What percentage is used for the following? So let's have a look, first of all, at our pie chart. We've got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kinds of paper and cardboard. You've only been given 3 of the values. So what can we do? If you think you know what to do, if you've really got no idea, then let's work together. Okay, there's a couple of ways you can do this. The first thing you could do is to say that this here is a half. Okay, so if that's a half, you've got 8 and 15, that's 13. And half of 100% is 50%. So if you've got 13, you do 50%, take away 13%, and you get 37%. So that means containerboard is 37%. Okay? 3 doesn't look very good, but I think you get the idea. So that section there, that whole bit there, is at 50%. These two are 8 and 5, which is 13. So if I add all that together, it gives me 50%, which is a half. Okay. Now, I think to find boxboard, you may have a different way to do it. The most obvious way to me is to say that is a straight line and that is a straight line. So that means that this one and this one are opposite angles. So boxboard will be the same as newsprint and packaging. Can you see that they're the same size? Because it's an opposite angle. We did that earlier in lockdown. You may not have remembered because we've not had much time to go over it, but it's an opposite angle. So that means that boxboard is 13% too. That just looks terrible. Let's try that again. Boxboard is 13%. Okay? Because it's the same, it's the equivalent of this one. Okay, so now you should be able to work out what printing and writing is, because that is half. Okay, have a go. Okay, take it. Okay, so you've got boxboard, which is 13. You've got tissue, which is 7, and you've got printing and writing, which you've got PW, and all of that adds up to 50%. Again, that's half on that side as well. So 20 add printing and writing equals 50%. So printing and writing equals 30%. And if you add all those together, you should get 100. Okay, perfect. Right, this one. The pie chart shows the percentage of pupils who ordered t-shirts, more t-shirt ordering, who knew, of pupils who ordered t-shirts of different sizes. Now, I think that this is particularly mean because they haven't used the same colours on this chart as they have on these charts, which I think is a bit ridiculous. But anyway, we can work it out. It's an easy question. It just says, do these two graphs, and actually there's 3 graphs, so what's the book talking about? I don't know. Do these 2 graphs match? Are they telling us the same information? So we've only got 2 things that we've been told on this one, and that is that large t-shirts were 20. It's a bit like you lot ordering your new hoodies, which your mums and dads have had an email about, so please check with them. So 20% large, 10% small, but we don't know what extra small and medium are. If you think you're going to have a go at this, again, pause the video. Otherwise, stick with me. You can do bits as we go. So we know about these kind of graphs, picked graphs. We know that we can now count how many pupils there are all together, can't we? Because we know that one of those stands for 5 pupils. So if you can work out for me what each of those columns is. Okay, so 5, 10, 15, because one of those is 5 people, that's 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, and 10, oh, that was like 26, and 10. Okay, and then on the next one, does that match? It's just a simple bar chart, so you just check whether it matches. It's got 15, 5, 20, and 10. So yeah, those 2 definitely match each other. Now we have to see whether these 2 match that one. Okay, so I'm going to ignore that one now. How many pupils have we got all together? Can you add those up? And you should have got 50. Oops, sorry. 50 pupils all together. And if you look at your bar model now, you might be able to make some progress. You know that the large is 20%, and that's 10 people. You know that small is 10%, and that's 5 people, so that makes sense. And you just need to work out then what are extra small and what is medium, which is 20 kids. Okay, so if 10 kids were 20%, what are 20 kids going to be? So 10 kids equals 20%. So 20 kids equals, well, hopefully you've noticed that that's double. So you're going to double that, and it's 40. Okay, and then you want your extra small. So what percentage is extra small? You can work it out now, can't you? So it's 40%, and it's 20 kids. So what percentage is extra small? You should be able to work it out by adding all the other percentages up and seeing how many more you need to make 100. So far I've got 20%, add 40%, add 10%. So that's giving me 70%. And I need 100% for the whole. So what is extra small going to be? You've got 30%. Okay. Cool beans. I think that's it for today. Hope you've enjoyed the lesson, and it's Friday tomorrow, and that means no maths. Have a good day.